What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast.
Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. Look at this. We're playing poker today.
Yeah, poker. Put your poker face on. Today, I wanted to jump right into this and start this episode with something that we both went through, right? And it's more fresh for me, and then you're kind of 3 years removed from it.
Right.
And it's kind of letting go of the sport that we've identified with for majority of our life. Basketball for me, football for you, obviously.
Yep.
So I'll start, and a couple of weeks ago was my last college basketball game, and I've obviously decided to step away from basketball completely. No coaching, training, playing, nothing. And this has consumed my life for the last 13 years.
Right.
And it's a very weird feeling when you've identified with something for more than half of your life, and then in the blink of an eye, it's kind of stripped from you, and then that's it. And I can see why a lot of athletes don't know what to do once they're done with their sport, because that's all they know. That was their whole life. So my question to you is kind of, what was it for you that got you through letting go of football? Because for me, I'm almost choosing not to play basketball anymore. Yeah. I could go and probably play professionally somewhere. On the other side of it, football was stripped from you due to an injury. So how was that where you had to almost just, I guess, accept it? Because that's the only thing you can do at that point, right? Because you had a serious back injury and you can't play football with a fucked up back. So what was that like for you, if you can remember and kind of bring yourself back to that time?
Yeah, it's hard to speak about it just because it was 3 years ago, and the feelings aren't fresh. And I feel like what us human beings do is there's an event. And then there's the story that we create about the event, So I don't. It's not so fresh in my brain. So if I had to go back and think about, what was the exact question again? How did it feel?
Yeah, how did you get over it when something that was such a big part of your life was just taken from you?
Yeah, I just didn't have a choice. It was just kind of as simple as that. I didn't. There wasn't. It's weird in life. There are moments where something goes terribly wrong, and it almost because it went terribly wrong, you almost don't mourn it at all because there's nothing you could do about it. So it wasn't like this. Can I play? Can I not play? Can I reach out to professional team? Should I still be in the gym? Should I be going after my career as a physician's assistant student at the time, which is what I was going to do? For me, it was I can't even get out of bed. My back is so jacked that I don't even care about football right now. I have to get my back in order first. So that was kind of, it was weird for me. It was weird for me it was just a very weird. It's very weird in life how there are these things that you can work at for so long, and that's your path, and you align your identity with that, and God blesses you, and I got the Division I scholarship, and just when you think you're about to really make it, God strips you down to nothing. That's what it was with me. It was I spent the first 22 years of my life as a football player, and literally in one day it was gone. Like that, and so again, I didn't really. It was just a thing where I kind of moved on. Also, I think that if I've been thinking a lot about forcing things, right? Like Wu Wei, it's a big Taoist thing, and obviously, they say to live an amazing life, you want to swim with the current. If you swim against a wave, it's going to be choppy. You'll fucking drown. So how football ended and why I believe I'm supposed to be doing this camera shit and I'm supposed to be doing this podcast with you was it ended in such a way that when I needed something to happen, it kind of presented itself. So yeah, as far as football goes, I don't really think too much about it. In the moment, it sucked, but I'm happy that everything happened the way that it did, and I kind of just moved on, which I think happens when I think if you're supposed to move on, you feel it and you move on. I think if you're not supposed to move on, that's when you're like fighting. Should I move on? Should I not move on? You know? So
Yeah, it's like God almost like plants this seed in you, and sometimes it takes a little longer for it to grow, right? For the plant to grow, where you think you're supposed to be doing something and you're watering almost the wrong plant, you know? And that's kind of what basketball was for me. And not that it didn't do wonders for my life, but it got to a point in this last year where I realized there's so much more to life than this one thing that I've been, expending all my energy on. And it's cool to be where I'm at now, because now I have no commitment towards anything. Basketball is a commitment, and it takes up a lot of your time.
yeah.
And bro, I ran the well dry. Like, there's no part of me anymore that, do I still get the itch? Like, bro, we were at the Heat game the other day, and like, it's cool, seeing guys on that level. And obviously I have a lot of friends that play professionally in college, and it's just something like I'm so fresh in it, right? It's only like a month out where I get that itch sometimes.
Yeah.
But it feels good to just let go of something and almost clean slate, start fresh. It's a new path. It's a new journey going forward. So I think that's really cool, especially for a lot of people that have done something that's consumed their life, whether it was a job, school, being in a relationship with someone, right? And then like when it kind of goes away, you have a clean slate.
Yeah, well, bro, you have a lane. Again, this is what kind of happened to me. A lane via camera presented itself. A lane via this podcast presented itself. Yeah. It's almost like when people have a girlfriend and then they already have something like kind of lined up, so it's easy for them to break up with their current girlfriend. I'm not endorsing that. I'm just saying like that's kind of what happens. I just feel like logically on paper, there is no more basketball for you. Sure, could you go like continue to do basketball? Yeah, but like logically, it wouldn't make any sense because the podcast. I mean, bro, there's just it's not even about the upside to the podcast. It's like how much more you enjoy doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I also, especially for me, like that's one thing you kind of have to accept where you are as a person, as an athlete, as a business person, right? Like what you're ceiling and what you're doing. A lot of people are delusional about what their ceiling is and their max potential and what they're doing.
Great point. Yeah.
Sometimes you reach a cap and you hit your ceiling, and people still try to force their way through that wall, and it's like you're just burning calories. You're wasting time. You need to go back down, right, and then find that other avenue, because the ceiling on that other spectrum is way higher than you could ever imagine. So I think that's what I did with this, right? Like basketball, I kind of reached the cap. I did everything that I could physically do without a basketball. Yeah. Without basketball, this podcast would have never started. So that's why I'm saying, like, I think God planted that seed, right? Like it had to start with basketball to meet these people, to get hurt, to get here, to start the podcast, to rekindle my friendship with you, and now we're sitting here in Miami doing this. So I think that's why it's so stupid to plan. We were talking about that the other day. It's so crazy to plan like what you're doing a couple of days from now, next week, a year. You never know what's going to happen, what could be thrown into your life. And I just think it's really cool. I'm really happy we're here, and like this is the best I've felt in a long time.
Yeah, this is like, it's like destiny, and like the only way to find your destiny is to be okay with moving on from things. People fuck that up. It's like, bro, I have so much boys that I played JUCO football with that are like still playing like these like leagues, getting paid like, I don't know, $5 an hour, like sacrificing their life, sacrificing their bodies to like continue this dream of like playing football. And it's like, dude, like it's okay to move on, right? Like you said before, like be cool with your ceiling, right? And I think it's just so weird, bro. People are so out of touch with like what their natural born skill sets are compared to like what they think they should be doing, right? Like I believe that every single person has like this thing that they're fucking great at, like literally every single person has something that they're fucking great at, but just based off of society or based off of what they already know and how they were educated, they don't even know what they're good at. So they follow a dream that's not even theirs. And if you do something that's you're not meant to be doing, it's never going to work ever. So I think that that's the most beautiful thing about us with this podcast. And it's something I would love for the viewers to take away. It's like, it obviously makes sense that we should have a popping podcast. You know, I'm a fantastic speaker. You know, I'm great at speaking with people. You're a fantastic speaker. You're great at speaking with people. We're charismatic. The things that we speak about in our everyday life is interesting. It's not the same gravy conversation that majority of people are having. I mean, bro, it's like if you go to Times Square and you bird listen to the conversations that people are having, it's just crazy that it's just crazy the things that people are speaking about, the things that like don't matter at all, how almost numb people are to the things that matter. You know, I think that's a huge point, is that there's so many people in today's society that are worried about nothing, and they live nothing lives, and they go to a nothing job. And there's been a lot of people that can hear something like that. And I'm pretty sure that if someone's listening to this, we're going to get some comments like, fuck you, you know nothing about me. I work a 9 to 5 so that you don't have to, so that you can chase your dream. And I'm like, bro, nobody wants to work a 9 to 5. There's a very small percentage of people. Like, you tell me, you want to have a boss that's a fucking dick for the rest of your life? You want to be 1 minute late and have someone spaz on you and control whether or not your family fucking eats or not? You know, like, nobody wants to do that. So I just hope with this podcast, there's a way for us to, it's very simple, bro, like, to chase your dreams. And I think what people are just so out of touch with who they are. And I think that this podcast can inspire people to do so. I mean, what would you do if you wanted to chase your dreams and you didn't know what those dreams were?
I think you have to try a bunch of things to see what you like and see what you're good at, because you don't know what you're good at until you try it.
Yeah.
So once you start doing a few things that may interest you, right, or sometimes you get into that flow state, right, and you didn't even know you were good at it, and then it just comes so natural. A lot of people have natural abilities or natural skill sets that they're not even aware of yet, because they haven't tested it.
1,000%.
So I think that's the one thing. I wasn't good. I had no idea about cameras, podcasting, right? I didn't even like podcasting up until 2019, 2020. So then I started it. I was like, oh shit, like, this is really cool. So I think that's one thing that people are just so naive to, where you can create your own reality. You can do the things that you want to do in life. You can do whatever you want. You need to make the right decisions leading up until that point. You can't put yourself in debt. You can't go and pay for something that you really can't afford, right? You can't live for other people or the opinions of other people because you want to feel more validated with your friend group. That makes no sense. You need to take your time and energy and put it towards setting yourself up for your future. Once you can set yourself up for your future, then you can start, right, buying the cars, buying a house, doing that. But unless you want to settle, right? Unless you want to settle and get a job. Like, everyone was coming at us, oh, nobody wants to be the blue collar worker and work hard and stuff like. Why is there a perception that an entrepreneur and someone that's trying to get it on their own doesn't work hard? Yeah. We work a lot harder and a lot longer than majority of people. Is it physical labor? No, I didn't sign up to do physical labor. That's why I'm doing this. But I'm doing this 18 hours a day. There's no time off. Every single moment is work. Every single moment is a networking opportunity. I don't have an allotted time throughout my day. Okay, I clock in at 9, I leave at 5, and that's it. Now I can go home, drink a beer, watch Netflix, and eat Doritos.
Right.
I don't need to, you know what I'm saying? We don't have that luxury.
That's a luxury.
And to me, that's like, in society, that's a luxury. In reality, you're fucking throwing your life away and wasting your time. Mm-hmm. What are you doing with your 24 hours? Everyone has the same 24 hours. What do you do with your 24 hours? Right. Do you trade it and make another man rich? Or do you bet on yourself, follow a dream, and then make something out of your life? That's the decision that people don't make, and people think that they don't have that choice. You have a choice in what you want to do with your life. As a man, you need to make that conscious decision and say, I want to do this for myself, not because of what society thinks is right. And that's what all the people that have been coming at us, it's so fucking backwards, it's almost laughable. It's really laughable. And like, we kind of get a kick out of it, but man, like, I refuse to do that. I said it on when I was doing the podcast the other day. Bro, if this doesn't work out, I will go to Thailand and learn Muay Thai and become a fighter and live off ramen noodles and $20 a day and travel the world as like a journeyman. Yeah. I'm not going to settle and go work corporate America or go make someone else rich. I can't do that. Life is too short. We're 26 years in now. How much time we got left? We want to start a family. We want to have kids. I want them to have the best life possible. So I'm going to do whatever I can now to make sure my future family and my kids don't have to worry about anything.
It's just odd to me that some people don't want to live a glorious existence, you know? Like, some people are really cool with clocking in, clocking out, watching Netflix, eating Doritos, having a lackluster relationship, cheating on their fucking wife, getting cheated on. It's like, that's the lifestyle that majority of people live, you know? Like, these 9-to-5 jobs, you literally can't afford to live. You know, like $100,000 is nothing. And like, I know how fucking stressful your financial situation can be. And I think it's just ridiculous that people can look at other people chasing their dreams and shit on them. Like, shouldn't that be encouraged by everyone? Shouldn't that be amazing? It's just, bro, it all comes down to what Yassine said the other day. 99% of people are just naysayers. 99% of people don't know what's possible. And it's because 99% of people are living a life that they deserve more than, you know? Everybody deserves more. You know, life, we're not meant to be in these corporate America structures. We're not meant to, no one's meant to work in a factory at the Tootsie Roll factory, you know? It's like, that's not what we're supposed to do. At least I don't think, you know? Like, I don't know how people don't get inspired by the greats and say, hey, how can I do that? And you have to look at how many people are great now. It's not like there's 15 people in the world that are like the greats. You know, it's like, bro, there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of influencers, celebrities, athletes, entrepreneurs, actors, musicians, right? And so I don't know. I'm curious, like, where do you think people have let go of following their dreams?
Bro, people don't know their potential. Yeah. People don't know their potential until someone else does it. And then their brain is like, oh shit, that is possible. I can do it too. So many people don't even know what they're capable of. Right. Like we spoke about it the other day. Right.
Oh. Hello.
How's it going?
You're good. No,
you're good.
No sweat.
We spoke about it the other day. The guy that ran the marathon, right, in this like crazy amount of time. Yeah. He was the first person ever to do that. And then right after he did it, a bunch of other people broke his record because physically we don't know what we're capable of. Mentally, we don't know what we're capable of until it's done before us. Yeah. So you need to make a conscious decision where it's like, am I going to lead the way? Am I going to be the person that breaks the mold and does the thing that hasn't been done before? Or am I going to wait for other people to do it and then follow their footsteps? Either way is right, but you need to be going in one of those directions and trying to achieve greatness. You need to figure out what your potential is because, we're a ball of potential. Humans are a ball of potential. Your brain is the most powerful thing in the universe. And the bad habits that people do, the phone scrolling, the watching Netflix, the music we listen to, the friends we have, the relationships we get in, all play a role, and they just make you have a lower IQ, lower attention span, less motivated, less inspired, and you just settle for this average life. Yeah, I don't want to do that. You know, what is something like, what would be advice for you to give someone that doesn't know what to do right? They don't know what to do in their life. They feel kind of lost, but they feel a calling that they are. They have a responsibility, right? They feel that intuitive feeling where it's like, yo, I have a responsibility to be greater than what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I speak with people all the time that are lost because, again, like I just believe 99% of people are lost. You know, it's a very high, alarming number of people that are living, again, a life that they deserve more than, a life way lower than they deserve. And so I tell people all the time, like, the same thing. It's like, dude, like, you don't have to know exactly what your life is supposed to look like to a T. Like, you don't have to create some huge fucking business plan with 50 pages and understand who's going to be in your life. Like, I feel like people overcomplicate their passions and their dreams. It's like, yo, what are you good at? What are you good at? I'm great at talking, right? Okay, you're good at talking. Okay, you could do a talk show. You can be an actor. You could have a podcast. You could be a sports analyst, right? Like just even someone's like, I like hanging out. Okay, expand on that. What do you mean? Well, I like hanging out, taking pictures, and traveling. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, there's like, I don't know, thousands of influencers that do that. Like literally get paid to go to Bali and post a picture at some hotel. Like that's a job. And that's what's insidious about the comments of like, not everybody could fucking do that. It's like, actually, the majority of people that go after that end up doing that. You don't know because you're not doing it because you're working at an Italian restaurant as a busboy. So you have no idea what's possible. I guarantee you the actual amount of people that try to become influencers, I guarantee you like 4 out of 5 people actually do it. Yeah. The reason why people don't think it's possible is because they don't even fucking try. And that's the advice that I would give people that don't follow their dreams. Is like, how do you know it's possible? You don't even fucking try. You know? So so that's step one.
Yeah, and especially I think when you're following your dreams and you've made the decision that I'm going to do this, right? And then you start bricklaying the entire thing and every day progressing forward towards that, like getting better every single day, working towards your dreams, knocking off these milestones, right? Like getting on the whiteboard, checking things off the checklist. Good things start to come into your life. Think about our past week, bro. All the shit that has just happened because we're doing what we want to do. Yeah. People look at us like we're doing something to a fault, that we don't do what everyone else does. And then they're not happy with what they're doing, and then they see someone else doing what they love and being successful at it, and it fucking angers people. That doesn't make sense. The things that have been happening to us, bro, are like miracles. It's not luck. It's like God is just throwing you bones all the time. And as much as the Heat game the other day, it wasn't this like crazy thing, but it was just such a sign like, all right, like we're destined for this. Long story short, I Am Athlete, Brandon Marshall, LaShawn McCoy, Pac-Man Jones, one of their co-hosts is Omar Kelly. Obviously, we're at the Heat game. Omar Kelly's sitting right next to us with his wife and kid. I look over. I'm like, yo, that's Omar Kelly. I Am Athlete. Like, they got 1 million subscribers, big-time show. He's a journalist in Miami. Let's introduce ourselves. He's sitting with his wife and his kid. We don't want to mess up. They're enjoying their Sunday night, Heat game, whatever. 2 minutes left in the game. The Heat.
We end up giving up on the fact, like we were kind of passionate about, yo, we got to talk to him because we can meet him and Brandon and Pac-Man and the whole thing. And now we're doing this, and then and then we gave up on. We're like, let's, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, we were like, all right, whatever. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
I forgot he was even there,
bro. We go to the bathroom, we walk down his aisle because we're going to walk down his aisle like, oh shit, like play stupid. We walk down the wrong aisle,
Omar.
Right?
Yeah.
And run into him.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't a good thing to do. He's with his wife and his kid. They're enjoying a Heat game.
Right.
Security stops us. Oh, no, you guys are the next one over. We're like, okay. So then we kind of completely give up. 2 minutes left. Heat go up 10. I'm like, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
As we're walking, I'm like, let's wait 10 seconds, see if Trae Young hits a 3.
Right.
Trae Young misses.
Yeah.
That amount of time, we walk out. As soon as we walk out the gate, Omar. I'm like, oh shit, Omar, what's going on?
Almost run him over. Like,
yeah,
run right into
we
him.
like almost bump shoulder to shoulder, and he's like by himself going to the bathroom.
No wife, no kids. Like perfect opportunity to speak to him.
And we exchanged numbers. We try to make a connection with him, have a nice conversation. And we just look at each other like, bro, like this shit is just meant to be.
Yeah.
You can't make this shit up. You can't write a fucking finer script.
Yeah. So that's why I'm telling everyone in the comments is like, bro, like you don't have to listen to me, but like you have to be inspired by me. You have to listen to us, but you have to be inspired by us because we are chasing the American dream. Like we are chasing any fucking dream. Fuck the American dream. Like we have this goal that's so grand and so large to so many people, and we're making it a reality. And we started from nothing. Bro. No one put us on to any of this. Think about the multitude of every single thing that we're doing, learning the cameras, the microphones, the, traveling and putting it all on the line. Like just every single thing that we've done, like, it's inspiring as fuck, and that's why we're getting the messages that we are, So, yeah, I just think that I think for the listener, for the watcher, again, thank you again. Like I say it all the time, like thank you guys. We wouldn't be doing as good as we are without you guys being here, but I just want to kind of get it into your head. Like if you're in a bad place and if you're working a fucking job that you hate and your boss is a dick and you don't have a lot of money and you're lost and you're confused and you're fucking, out of shape, like all these things, right? Like you can do the impossible. You can turn it around because we fucking did. And now we're here. And if you don't believe us now, believe us in a year when we own a house that's bigger than this fucking room that we're in, like stay up to date with us. Like you will see us on every single episode continue to level up, and I just think I just think that it's crazy the signs that God gives you. It's crazy the signs that God gives you.
Yeah, we're kind of blown away by some of the messages we get and how much impact we're having on people's lives. Like I woke up to 3 messages this morning, 3 DMs from 13, 14, and 15-year-olds telling me how did I get over losing my mom because their mom just died.
Yeah.
How powerful is that? And I'm so glad because I've always felt this intuitive feeling like I need to be like that light for people. I need to be a voice that I can help people get through the tough times. And now I'm getting messages from kids that just lost their mom, and I'm telling them like, yo, it's never going to be easy, but now you have something that will motivate you and fuel you far more than anything else could ever do in your life. Yeah. Now you have a why. Maybe before that you didn't know why you were doing things. You didn't have motivation. Now you have a why. Now you have someone to make proud. Now you have someone watching over you all the time. Now you have a guardian angel, right? So you got to find ways to take a positive from the negatives, even in the worst of situations. There's always something to gain from a shitty situation. You can find one thing that you can take out of it, whether it's a lesson or something that even brings something far greater than that, right? My mom was like my motivation my entire life, right? I would have never had that. Maybe I would have never even played college basketball if it wasn't for that. So just being able to share those stories, hear those stories shared with us, share my, insight on it, and then leave an impact positively on someone else's life. We talk about it all the time, bro. If we can help one person, we won. We're helping thousands and thousands of people. Yeah. And our message isn't going to resonate with everyone, and I'm fine with that. If you want to reach out and disagree respectfully, I would love to have a conversation with you. But it's the people that reach out very, vicious and with like intent to try to like hurt us. It's like, come on, bro. Like, I know you're hurting. Yeah. Just because like I'm doing something that I like to do, why does that aggravate you? Why does that make you angry? Yeah. But that just shows where society is at today, bro. Like everyone is hurting, bro. Everyone's fucked up in life. Yeah. Everybody has their own shit going on. Yeah. And your problems aren't that special. So you need to understand that we go through the same shit y'all go through. It may look nice on camera, but, bro, we go through the daily struggle just like everyone else. We went food shopping yesterday at Target for the week because we don't want to spend more money. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with the same shit y'all dealing with. Right. And we didn't have mommy and daddy money given to us. We didn't have money passed down to us. Yeah. And it's funny that people create a narrative about you. We were watching about Michael Beasley yesterday. Michael Beasley talks about how the media and the people paint this narrative of you and they don't even fucking know you. Yeah. People paint narratives of us and have it stuck in their head, and they think they already know you, and they judge you, and they don't know you through a hole in the wall. Stop judging people, right? Stop thinking you know someone. You don't know them. You don't know what they go through. You don't know what that person has been through. You don't know what that person's feeling inside. Stop
judging you off of like one profile click.
Yeah, bro, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I know the comment is all that shit kind of got you fired up, but like, how do you feel about like when people just judge a book by its cover and paint this narrative when they don't even fucking know the person?
Well, our comments are ridiculous because like it's not like like they're making fun of us, but they're still posting content. Like they're making fun of us for posting content, but they're posting content and they're doing it really poorly. Like they're like, you know, it's like, so it doesn't make any sense. It's like that girl at school. Like when you're like, you know, they say to a young boy in school, like, yo, if she's picking on you, it's because she likes you. Yeah. You know? So I feel like that's what it's like with the haters in the comments. It's like, bro, like, you want to give me a kiss? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, straight up. Like, because that's just how I feel. It's like, yo, a lot of people are envious, right? It's like maybe that's a way to switch it. It's like, bro, y'all aren't hating on us. You're envious. They're envious of us, you know.
If people are talking about you, you're doing something right.
Yeah, and so I mean, like I was upset earlier today just because of that exact thing. Like I couldn't even believe that someone was talking shit about something that they do, but they do it worse than us then. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even believe it, bro. It would be like it's like the fucking hecklers in the stands that are like, oh, LeBron, why'd you miss that fucking shot? And it's like, dude, you're 400 pounds. Like you would in if you step 10 steps, you'd be out of breath. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna heckle LeBron James. It doesn't, and it's because people are just, that's how hurt people are. That they have to get enjoyment, right? They have to find their purpose in talking down about other people's purposes when they can just be out there getting it on their fucking own, you know? So I just say that about the comments, but I want to reverse it a little bit because you were speaking about something that was really important on the topic of like following your dreams. And it's like, yo, greatness lies in being authentic and telling your story. You have to tell your story, not anybody else's. The reason why our podcast is doing so well is because I speak about anxiety. I've had fucking terrible panic attacks, okay? You've been speaking about your mom a lot. Your mom died when you were 12 years old. That's why people are resonating with it. I don't have imposter syndrome. I'm speaking about all the watches and Rolexes I have, and that's why that shit doesn't work. People are flexing their money. People are flexing their lifestyle. It's like, dude, you don't live that way. You're not Drake, bro. You know? Why are you being like that? Speak about things you actually go through on your day-to-day, no matter how small you think it is. Because even if you're passionate about going to the gym, it's like, bro, millions and millions and millions of people go to the gym, right? By you being authentic and speaking about your story, people will fuck with that much more than you speaking about something you have no business speaking about. So I just feel like for anyone, again, like to bring it now back to the comments, it's like anyone that's hating in someone's comments, like, what are you doing with your time, dude? What the fuck are you doing with your time? You know? And that's why and again, it's like, that's why I think what we're doing is so powerful, because I think we can be a bridge for a lot of the people in our comments. Because a lot of the people in our comments are 17, 18 years old. They don't even know what they like. You know, a lot of people are commenting because other people are commenting, and they're so hurt because they're bullied at school, or their girlfriend has been giving them a tough time, and their parents have been giving them a tough time, or teachers don't believe in them. So they find solace in agreeing with other people on the internet. And it's like, yo, you could find solace in being the best fucking you. You know? And that's what we're here to do. Is we're not these guys that are like wearing these robes and we're 80 years old and we're like Buddhist monks, and like I fuck with all that. We're gonna do all that, but I'm saying, like, bro, like, we're just these fucking dudes, Italian, whatever it is, from New York. You know what I'm saying? I got an earring in. I'm gonna have a nice Rolex on my wrist here in 4 months. Shout out to Timepiece Trading. But you know, it's like I that's why I believe in our platform. You know, just so much, and it really is just it's a shame where people are at, and you can't save everyone. You know, you've said that you can't save everyone, and that's why, like, my intention isn't really even to help people. It hasn't been from the start of this podcast, which might seem odd and alarming to some people. It's like, oh, you want to help me? It's like, dude, like, I struggle every day. The reason why I do this podcast, it's my therapy. Like, you guys are watching my therapy in live, you know, in real time, like watching my therapy. Yeah. And it's solid. And I think that's a misconception about therapy. It's like, dude, you don't need a therapist to get your shit out, you know, especially like people in like, you know, in minorities, you know, in these poorer communities, right? Like, we were watching the Michael Beasley episode, and you looked at me, and because I was like, yo, he should get a therapist. And you're like, bro, you think Michael Beasley, who grew up with nobody in this neighborhood in gangs, is going to get a therapist? I thought about that. I'm like, no, he's not. He's not going to go see some old white lady. And it's like, bro, like, why the fuck is therapy an old white lady where you got to sit on this couch? It's like, yo, speak to your fucking homies, you know? And that's what we do here.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. When you allow things to just build up over time and you don't voice it and you don't let it out, it's just a ticking time bomb. Eventually, you're gonna fucking explode.
Yeah.
That shit is something that's real, bro. I did it. I'm a testament of it. Yeah. I never saw a therapist. I had to go speak to a guidance counselor, and a lady that doesn't even know me or my mom, and you know, they're just making sure I'm doing okay, which is the right thing to do by a school. But I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just allowed this shit to build up over time. When you don't voice how you're feeling, that shit eats you up, bro. I spoke about it on the clip when I was crying, bro. That shit'll eat you alive. It doesn't have to, like you said, like, if therapy works for you, cool. If talking to your boys works for you, cool. If talking to your mom or your dad or your grandma, someone. But you can't hold that shit in. Because then you become one of those people, like, in the comments, right? You become that person in public that you rub someone the wrong way immediately because you're just fucking nasty. And you don't even mean it, and you're so blind to it, you don't even know you're doing it. You are this person because you're allowing this built-up anger to fucking control your voice, control your mind, and you're so much better than that. Humans aren't meant to be like that. I saw, bro, when I got to Miami, right? I got out the airport. There's this older lady in the car. She pulls up, you know, and I think she was like in an Uber or something like that. And, bro, she's just sitting there and no one's really helping her. And she's got to be like, 75, 80 years old. She has her little dog on her lap. And, bro, she like rolls down the window and screams, "Can I get some fucking help?" Just nasty. That's how she initiated the ask, right? And the airport guys are like, "Oh, yo, so sorry. Like, we didn't know you were here." And, she gets out. She's like, "Can you open the trunk?" Just nasty, right? She's like screaming at these guys. These guys are just trying to do their job, probably making $20 an hour. Right. They didn't deserve this. They didn't do anything. And immediately I judged. And I'm like, damn, this old lady's a nasty. You know what I'm saying? She's mean. Yeah. And then I'm like, yo, like, so lady, like, she can't walk. All she has is her little dog. It's probably almost maybe embarrassing sometimes. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, she's probably hurting, bro. Like, who knows? Maybe her kids don't talk. There's so many things that could be going on in her life. But immediately from the outside, I would judge her, right? Maybe she just needs to speak to someone. That's just one example that I remember from a couple days ago.
It's a crazy example though, like, to think about, right? Like, yo, the people in the comments, like, yo, if you find yourself at 17 years old hating in the comments, like, where do you think that goes? Like, bro, you're gonna die alone. Because that nasty, you're being nasty now, right? Like you just said, you don't even mean to be nasty, but you just built up this habit of being nasty. Everybody that comes around you doesn't want to be around you. How are you going to have a family? You think your kid, even my father at times, like sometimes he could be like a little nasty, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's because he has some unresolved shit that he had to deal with, you know what I'm saying? And he never did. So now it like creates this friction with me and him. And I love my dad, but I'm just saying, like, at the highest level of that, you're in the comments, 17 years old, hating, being nasty, you're going to die alone. Yeah. That's where that evolves. It's like, bro, you're really going to die alone, Like, no, like, do you want to have all this hate and shit filled in your heart? Or do you even have that? No, you probably don't. You probably hit your head on the pillow and you cry because you're like, why don't people like me? It's like, because, bro, you're doing it to yourself. People don't like you because you're doing it to yourself, So I just think it's a wake-up call for people in the comments. It's like, bro, like, where do you think that goes, you hating in the comments, taking time out of your day? You're going to die alone, right? Jordan Peterson talks about that shit, like about how, you shouldn't even be motivated by what your life could be like if you did everything right. You should be motivated by how fucking treacherous your life could be if you did everything wrong. Paint hell. Be motivated by that. And obviously what it could be like if things were good. But you have to think about where you're at in your life. It's like, dude, if you don't get your fucking act together, your things are gonna be bad for you, you know. And for people that have friends or sons or parents or anyone that they care about that is acting out, lashing out, hating, and being nasty to be around, we got to support those people because they're only going to get further and further and further gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think today's man understands. I don't think they understand what the stakes are with life. I don't think they understand how serious these stakes are and with the decisions that you make.
Yeah.
As a man in this world, you are not loved unconditionally. If you do not provide value in some way, money, the way you look, what you can do for other people, if you can provide, you will be lonely. Being a man is not something that is, you wouldn't understand it unless you were a man. As a man, you need to be a provider, right? You need to provide some type of value in life.
Yeah.
So the decisions you make, right? The stakes are very high all the time, every single day, especially when you're chasing a dream. Mm-hmm. Every decision you make could change your life. We talk about it all the time. The idea of one more.
Yeah.
You never know who you're going to run into, right? Or like Neil, spoke about it to us, where it's like when he met Drake, he didn't know that. He's like, damn, if I knew, I would have came a lot more prepared, you know? So it's like, I think people need to be more understanding, especially men, especially young men, of the decisions that they're making and how big the stakes are. Look at Ja Morant right now. Bro, you have the world by the balls. You can do whatever you want to do. You have enough money to take care of generations of your family.
Yeah.
And you're on Instagram Live flashing a gun. Hey, I'm not from where he's from. I didn't grow up like that. But all I can say is, brother, stop being stupid. You're being stupid right now. You might cost yourself, and you're a fringe superstar. You're not an average NBA player, right? Like, bro, you're going to be $100 million guy. You'll probably finish your career with over probably a $500 million after endorsements. He's about to get his own Nike shoe too. Right? You could have threw that out the window. We saw what happened with Kyrie Irving. Nike cut him off because of that. Now, Ja, you didn't even get your shoe yet. What happens when you get cut, But he's trying to portray this lifestyle that doesn't need to be there, right? Like Shannon Sharp comes at him all the time. Like, bro, you don't got to be that way. Michael Wilbon talking about all these guys, even Des Bryant came out and wrote a big tweet. He's like, bro, like young dudes are watching you.
Yeah.
Think about the image that you're portraying, right? You're looked up as a role model. So I think that's the biggest thing, especially for us. Bro, I'm proud of what we do because we're good role models. Yeah. We're not out, once the camera shut off, we're not out being assholes, right? We're trying to get better every day too. We're trying to be that voice, be that outlet, and when people see us in public, we want to represent what the journey is. And I think we do a pretty good job of that. But I think the young men, especially watching us, that follow us, that look up to us, bro, be a good example for the people that are coming up under you.
And that's the most important thing at the end of the day. I feel like the most important attribute of success is being a good person. That's step one. Yeah. Just do that. How many fucking billionaires, millionaires have we fucking met this week in Miami that we asked them, how do you become successful? He's like, I always kept my word, right? So it's being a good person at the end of the day, I feel like is one of the best ways to be successful. Because it's I don't know. It's I feel like one of the big secrets in life is it really is just all about people, that's one of the best things. I think people misconstrue that, especially early on, we're fucking teaching algebra and earth science and we're teaching these skills that are completely fucking meaningless and people make fun of communications degrees. Which I think is crazy.
Which I'm a communications major.
Yep. People make fun of communications degrees. And it's communication is the thing that's going to make me a fucking billionaire because I can communicate effectively, right? If I want to run into the right person, right? I run into Gary Vee. Do I have the communication skills enough to say, hey, Gary, I have this podcast. I would love to have you on. We have X, Y, Or am I afraid am I afraid to even go up to him because I'm wicked smart at fucking algebra and I have no idea how to talk to people, right? It's like, what's your algebraic skills going to get you? Odds are you're not going to be Ethan fucking Hawking. You know, you're not going to create the fucking next theory of quantum relativity. It's like odds are you're not that smart. It's like, learn how to speak to people, learn how to be a good person, learn how important your reputation is. Because right there, if I know that someone's not the smartest tool in the shed like me, but I know that they're a good dude and they're hardworking, I'll bring them on the team. You can get your life changed just by that, by just being not the opposite of nasty. We talked about people being nasty and how nobody wants to be around them. When you're a good dude, people want to bring you around and give you opportunities.
Yeah. That's why I think you've done so well, especially down here, because of the energy that you bring and the way you make people feel. Yeah. That's a huge thing in life. Like, bro, fuck the cars, the watches, the money, all that. Nobody's going to care about that. They care about the way you make them feel. And if you can make a person feel good, like literally, like if you can just make a person feel good when you talk to them, you can kind of almost edify them a little bit, make them feel comfortable around you, crack a joke, break the ice. They're going to remember that way more than like they looked down for, 10 seconds and saw what was on your wrist.
Yeah.
And bro, I think that's been like really, really helpful, obviously, in your success and your journey in networking, because you've kind of figured it out. You do it your own way. You don't try to be something that you're not. And we spoke about it the other day. That's why I think we work so well in public, because I know how to speak to people, but I'm like, something happened? No. Oh, I heard the beat. Because I'm not, I'm not the outgoing guy. I'm more of like the listener, right? I like to read the room a little more. You come in and take the room. Yeah. And like, that's why we need that. Because if we had two guys taking the room, it would be like startling, right? Yeah. It'd be overwhelming. And then if we had two guys kind of laid back, it would be like, all right. So I think that's why our thing works, right? That's why this works. That's why our business has been working, because we're like, it's a positive and a negative, right? Like opposites attract, right? Yeah. And then when you put the batteries together, it creates power. So, but like you said, bro, talking to people, that's like the main thing. Yeah. Talking to people, learning how to communicate. Because, bro, I mean, like even in school, like I know we shit on school. We'll do another episode talking about school. Yeah. But like even like you said, like the communications degree, a lot of people downplay it, bro. Like I learned camera stuff. I learned lighting. You learn journalism, right? You learn how to write. When you got to type up an email to Gary Vee or to his secretary, and you fucking misspell words and your wordplay is off. Yeah. What did the Boston Tea Party teach you about how to send an email?
Right. What's a more valuable skill? Yeah. The fucking some crazy calculus algebra that you're never gonna use fucking ever, or how to I don't know, write a sentence, how to even like interpersonal communications, public speaking, like these fucking classes that people literally shit on, it's and again, it's just ass backwards of what society is. I had a point about people. I forgot it though. What mark are we at?
48.
Oh, 48?
48.
Fire.
Yeah. I mean,
let's keep running it. My back is fucking on fire, but let's keep going.
No, I mean, I'm good, bro.
Yeah?
I think this was good, bro. I think, okay. I want to, we still got a few more podcasts left this week. I think this was really good. Really appreciate you guys being here. Should be cool. You guys are going to see a bunch of different settings other than the, OG studio back in New York. And, like we're trying to end every episode, I'm trying to get better with it because 80% of our watchers are not subscribed. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, turn on your post notifications. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. We got a lot in store. The Patreon's coming soon. Merch is coming soon. I don't know if you guys like these hoodies, right? You can see it here. We'll bring the OG hoodies back. We have a lot in store, so I'm excited for you guys to witness this journey, be on this journey with us, and this is really just the beginning. We're only scratching the surface. 3 months in of taking this thing serious, and I think a year from now, things are going to be a lot different. I know that.
Yeah. Much love, everyone. Get out there today and get after it.
Good man.